Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parajikacharya Satar Satyashri Shrimada's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Govardhan Puja Ki Jai Nitai Gora Premanandi. All glories to all the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. So today is Govardhan Puja. Pretty special day, and because that is a special day, we have a special verse on the board. We jumped ahead a little bit in the 10th canto. We're now in the 25th chapter, and this is text number 19. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we are chapter 25, the canto is the 10th, and the text is number 19. Iti utva ekena hastena kritva govardhanachalam dadhara lilaya Vishnu chatrakam eva balakaha ityukvaikena hastena kritva govardhanachalam dadhara lilaya Vishnus chatrakam eva balaka ityukvaikena hastena kritva govardhanachalam tadhara lilaya Vishnus chatrakam eva balaka. You. Thanks, Bert. Thank you. Anybody here doing Bhakti Shastri who hasn't chanted yet? Anybody here first time in Mayapur? Anybody else? Duktaikenas. Is there anybody here in Bhagavatam class has never chanted the shloka before? And this will be your first time in Sridham Mayapur. On the men's side still. Well done. Mataji's. Okay, now one Mataji from this side, obviously, who's never chanted the shloka in Bhagavatam class, ever, anywhere. You're going to chant for the first time in Sridham Mayapur. Okay, this is a story that, and I don't see so many familiar faces, so I can tell this story again, and you're going to act, well, even if you have heard it, you're going to act like you've never heard this story. So, in Los Angeles, Srila Prabhupada got the men to chant the sloka, and they were fumbling through it. They were, like, not really enthusiastically getting it right or just doing it. Nobody really wanted to do it. But they did a couple, and then the women chanted. And the women took this as an opportunity to show what they got. So they were, Ityuktvai-fena hastena. And about 6 women chanted, very precise, wonderful chanting. And Prabhupada says, oh, the women chant much better than you men. So of course, men's egos, That evening, they prepared by going to Prabhupada's Sanskrit editor and saying, tell us how to say this properly. So they studied, they practiced, they made sure they were ready. So when Prabhupada said, chant, the men were ready. Ityuktvai-fena hastena. Oh, it was wonderful. Every man that chanted, perfect Sanskrit pronunciation, letting it rip out. They weren't shy. They were really belting it out. And then came the women's turn. Well, the women, they were up for the challenge. They were giving it all they had, and still they were louder. They were much better pronunciation. How could this be? And Prabhupada turned and he looked at the men. He said, they are still better than you are. So with that in mind, it's very nice to hear everybody chanting the sloka, because this is the wonderfulness of this Bhagavatam class, is I can stand up, or sit up here, I can sit up here, and this is kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You get to sit, you give a class in Sridham Mayapur. It's wonderful. It's so exciting. But you get to be a part of it by chanting the shloka. And that kind of brings us all together before we start the class. So this way, hopefully, you stay awake a few minutes longer during the class. Okay, let's get to it. Iti. We'll do the word for word. Iti. Thus. Utva. Having spoken. Ikena. With one. Hastena. Hand. Kritva. Taking. Govardhan Achalam. Govardhan Hill. Dadara. He held it. Leelaya. Very easily. Vishnu. Lord Vishnu. Chatrakam. A mushroom. Eva. Just as. Balakaha. A child. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Having said this, Lord Krishna, who is Vishnu himself, picked up Govardhan Hill with one hand and held it aloft, just as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. Purport. It is confirmed in the Harivamsa that Sri Krishna picked up the Govardhan mountain with his left hand. Sadrita Sangato Megaer Giri Savyena Panina. With his left hand, he picked up that mountain which was touching the clouds. Quote. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when Lord Krishna was preparing to lift Govardhan Hill, a partial expansion of his Yogamaya potency named Samhariki temporarily removed all the rain from the sky, so that as he ran very swiftly from the porch of his house to the mountain, neither his turban nor other garments became wet. Om Aganatiram Dasya Gananjala Shalakaya Chakshur Unmaditangena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svabatanti Kam Vanshakapatirubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Badaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachardine Nirbhisesha Sunyavadi Pashtata Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as we stated, today is a very special day, Govardhan Puja. Now a little over 5,000 years ago, today was not called Govardhan Puja. Does anybody know what today was over 5,000 years ago? Indra Puja. So it all started with this Indra Puja. Now, all the residents of Vrindavan, they were preparing for this Indra Puja, preparing elaborate sacrifice for Indra. Now, back during this time, Indra wasn't just some personality that they heard of. Indra used to come and be amongst them. They saw him. He was a part of their lives. He was Indra. They knew who he was. So this wasn't some, oh, we are going to offer this demigod who we don't know, but we've heard. No, they knew who Indra was. They knew what he did. They knew he was a demigod, a very powerful demigod, the king of heaven. So when this little boy Krishna says, you don't need to do this. You don't need to worship the demigods. But they're like, come on, we need the rain. And Krishna says, no, the rain comes. The ocean doesn't pray to Indra, and it gets the rain. You don't need to pray to Indra. Okay, that makes sense. They could buy that. So what to do now? They have this whole sacrifice elaborately prepared. So much prasadam, so much food is being cooked for Indra. Krishna says, let's do this. Let's worship the cow. Let's worship the brahmanas. Let's worship Govardhan Hill. And today is that day, 5,000 some years later. Govardhan Puja. We're going to worship Govardhan, because Govardhan is actually Krishna himself. Now, for Indra, this was not a happy day. Everybody else, very happy. This is a wonderful day. Can anybody answer me this question? They had this Govardhan Puja, this huge feast. Did they have it before the Samvartaka clouds came or after the Samvartaka clouds came? Who can answer that? Ooh, nobody knows. The puja was before or after the devastating rain? Nobody knows. It was before, otherwise it would have been drenched, right? So they had this huge sacrifice to Govardhan. That's why Indra got a little upset. He's like, come on, this is for me. We've been doing this every year. What's going on? I'm going to get you guys. I'm going to really punish you. You seem to not understand who I am. Well, understanding demigods is not so easy. Now, most of us who grew up in the West, when you say Indra, long time ago now, you say Indra, everybody's like, Indra? Shiva? Who's he? I've never heard of these people. What are they? Demigods. What's a demigod? We don't know what a demigod is. Nobody in the West knows who demigods are. Now, if you grew up in India, you get it. Demigods. Yes, we worship demigods. But in the Western world, demigods are like, who are they? We have no clue. Now, when demigods were being visited in a temple, Srila Prabhupada went to a temple. Devotees are in India for the first time. They walked into a temple, a demigod temple, and everyone's kind of looking at each other like, uh-oh, this is a demigod. What do we do here? Like, well, I don't know what to do here. So they were all kind of just like looking at Prabhupada. What's Prabhupada going to do? This is demigods. This isn't Krishna. This isn't Bhagavan. What's going on? And Prabhupada walked up to his Shiva statue, and he placed his right shoulder down in front of it and paid his obeisances. So, of course, all the disciples are, okay, it's different. It's not the left, it's the right. We understand now. That's how we show our respect. But we do show respect. But it's not the same respect. Understand, difference, demigod, Krishna, a little bit different. So that's a really important point. Now, in Vrindavan, they understood to an extent how that all worked. But still, it's a little bit nerve-wracking when after year after year after year, then this little boy, who they're not seeing as God, they're just seeing him as this kid's kind of far out. He does some amazing stuff. I mean, head scratch. I'm not quite sure how he's doing it. Maybe he's like some really high demigod. Who knows? But gosh, isn't he amazing? Isn't he beautiful? Isn't he so much fun to be around? So that's, to them, is Krishna. They don't really care. It's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what? He's Krishna. He's not the Supreme. He's Krishna. He's this really cool kid. We love him. We love him in so many different ways, but that's who he is. Now, Indra, he got a little bit, can we use the word ticked off? Do you know what that means, ticked off? Let me explain. There's another word that I won't use, but it's like that. He's mad. He's really upset. He is what in America, especially, we say he's ticked off. He's like, yeah, man, what's going on here? Come on. It's supposed to be for me. Now you're worshiping a hill? What's going on with that? I'm a demigod. Okay, Indra. You got a little bit too proud. A little puffed up. We've got to be really careful of that because we all know if you get puffed up, your devotional creeper is going down. It's getting squashed. So we have to be very, very careful. Look what happened to Indra. Luckily, he wasn't a demon, so he kept his head. Krishna let him keep his head. He just taught him a lesson. And that's how spiritual masters and Krishna works with his devotees. Bhakti Tirtha Swami. Has everybody heard the name Bhakti Tirtha Swami? He was originally Ghanasham Das. Now, Ghanasham Das was in the Western countries known as the Communist Bloc. And he was distributing books in libraries, risking his life. If he would have got caught, he could have ended up in jail for a really long time. But he was in West Germany, which is, at that time, in the 1970s, was a communist country. He snuck in, distributed books in libraries. He was part of the library party, they called it. He risked his life. Now, when he heard Srila Prabhupada was in London in 1977, Prabhupada went to London in not a good physical condition, very upsetting for everybody. But we all kind of knew, or they knew, I didn't know, but they knew that Prabhupada was preparing to leave his body. But he was in London. So when Ghanasham Bhakti Tirtha Swami heard this, he immediately left West Germany and went to see Srila Prabhupada. Now, Tamal Krishna Goswami, who was there, Satsarup Maharaj, who was there, they brought him immediately in to see Srila Prabhupada. Immediately. And Prabhupada started hugging him and rubbing his head. You can just imagine how emotional both of them were. Prabhupada's tears were coming down and falling on Ghanasham Bhakti Tirtha Swami's head. And he's hugging him. And he said to him, your life is perfect. In other words, he was so pleased with what this devotee was willing to sacrifice to spread the movement, to spread Srila Prabhupada's books. Amazing, touching situation. Now, Tamal Krishna felt that, well, why don't we come back the next day? Because Bhakti Tirtha used to give a report every month of his endeavors in these countries. He says, why don't you come back and read this report personally to Srila Prabhupada? So Bhakti Tirtha came back the next day with Tamal Krishna, sat down in front of Srila Prabhupada, and started to read this report of his activities in communist country, risking his life to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. And he looked up as he's reading, and Prabhupada wasn't even listening. Prabhupada was talking to the Mataji who was cleaning his desk. And here Bhakti Tirtha is reading this report that he thought Srila Prabhupada would just be relishing this. And then Prabhupada started to talk to somebody else in the room. And Bhakti Tirtha looks up again. He's like, Prabhupada's not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm sitting here. I came here. And Prabhupada's not even listening to me. So he looks at Tamal Krishna. He says, what should I do? And Tamal says, I think we should go. So they get up to leave, and as they're walking out of the room, Prabhupada says, Krishna is the doer. Bhakti Tirtha was like, oh, he walked out. He was like, whoa. It hit him like a ton of bricks. It's like, Prabhupada just chastised me. It'll be the last thing he ever hears from Srila Prabhupada was a chastisement. You are not the doer. Krishna is the doer. So Bhakti Tirtha had in his heart, he realized he had in his heart that little bit of pride. I'm doing such amazing service. I am amazing devotee. A little bit. Not a lot. A little bit. But he had so much more service to do that Prabhupada wanted him to just get rid of that little bit of pride so he would continue to serve purely. And that's what a spiritual master does. One devotee was chanting in a room. They were getting ready to discuss this book that Prabhupada was writing. So they were sitting in a room, a couple of devotees. Prabhupada was doing some paperwork. This devotee was sitting like right in front of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was here. He's sitting right here. And he's chanting japa. And he is chanting the best japa he has ever chanted in his life. Pronouncing properly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he's thinking to himself, surely Srila Prabhupada is so pleased with the way I am chanting japa. I am just doing it so nicely. Prabhupada put his hand up and he went, no sound! He was shaking. He was like, whoa. Okay. He realized I wasn't chanting because I loved chanting Krishna's names. I was showing off. I was showing off to Prabhupada. Aren't I amazing devotee? I'm like the best disciple. Listen to me chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Prabhupada smacked him down. He's a wonderful devotee. He's still doing amazing service, but Prabhupada needed to just pull that little bit of false ego out of him. We're not chanting to impress people. You're not trying to say, hey, look at me. Look at me. I got it going on. Very advanced devotee. I was riding in a van doing Sankirtan. Very dark night. Had finished for the day. It's just me in the back. I'm sleeping. And the other devotees driving the bus. Now, we were in Alabama. In Alabama, it doesn't snow. It stays very warm. Just like here, it doesn't snow. It doesn't snow there. But this night, it was very cold. And there was what they call black ice. It's ice, and you can't see it because it's on the road. And they call it black ice. So you're driving down the road, having a nice, easy journey, and then all of a sudden, you hit this ice. Now, the devotee who was driving hit the ice. The van just said, we are not turning around this corner. We are going straight. And off it went. Off a cliff. Off a cliff. Midair, the van is. Probably about 15 feet above the ground. Heading through trees. I wake up. I'm in the back. I wake up. Now, in the back of the van, because it's a Sankirtan van, there's boxes of magazines, boxes of books, and boxes of incense. So as you can imagine, as the van is going through the trees, the van is going to go. The boxes of books, the magazines are flying. I'm flying. I'm like bouncing every which way, and I'm thinking, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I was just so calm and relaxed, chanting the holy names. If I go back to Godhead, I go back to Godhead. If I don't care, Krishna. Just take me. Whatever you want, take me. I was just feeling so much ecstasy. I was about to lose my life, and I was like, I don't care. I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Now, the Prabhu who's driving, he was saying things that he probably shouldn't be saying. I'm not going to repeat him because we're in, amongst devotees in Mayapur, but he was freaking out. And he was my senior devotee, and I'm like the junior. I've only been in the moon for like a couple of months, and I'm like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I remember after it was over, the van went through the trees, it came down, bang, bang, bang. Nobody was hurt, it's all good. I was like so proud of myself. I was like, I've only been a bhakta for 2 months. I've got this thing. I'm like a real devotee, Like, whatever happens, I'm just chanting Hare Krishna. Good, bad, it doesn't matter. I'm totally absorbed in Krishna. The next day, we're all crowded in a little car because we lost our van. We're going through this university. Now, we were a next state over, and in that particular university, in that particular state, it had snowed. There was snow on the ground. So I was in the passenger seat, in the back, actually, crowded in amongst all devotees. There's like 6 of us in this tiny car, riding along through the university, very calm. I'm sitting there, I'm still high from that. I'm such a wonderful devotee. Only a bhakta, but hey. Didn't take me long. 2 months. Very advanced. Then all of a sudden, some student threw a snowball, hit the car. Boom. Ah! I screamed like that. Everybody else is just, Hare Krishna, chanting in the car. And I go, ah! What was that? And I went, oh no. I guess I'm not so advanced. Oh, I'm foiled again. But that's okay. I was all right with that. But I needed to learn a lesson. Because for those almost 24 hours, I was so puffed up. I just couldn't wait to get back to the temple to tell all my godbrothers. I tell you what, I'm like one advanced devotee here. You can have my association if you want. So that was Indra, puffed up, I'm sending my Samvataka of clouds. I will show these residents of Vrindavan. That little boy, who does he think he is? Stopping my sacrifice. Well, Krishna showed him. He decides to just pick up a mountain. Why not? He's Krishna. He picks up Govardhan Hill. He doesn't just like, I got it. He picks it up. He's holding it with his left arm, supposedly the weak arm. Sorry to all left-handers. Holds up his left hand, his pinky, and holds it like this. No big deal. Come under, everybody. Come on under. I got this. Not a big deal, right? So all the residents of Vrindavan come under a mountain being held up by a 7-year-old boy, his pinky of his left hand. Now that takes faith, doesn't it? Like if somebody here held up something super heavy and said, hey, stand under here. You're like, don't think so. So faith is very important. You got to have faith. There's a lot of karmi songs with that. You got to have, there's a lot of karmi songs. Trust me. I'll tell you a faith one. When I first went to the temple, I decided to go in the morning for Mangal Artik. I thought they have what they call the Sunday feast. And the Sunday feast is, I thought, you know what, they're going to give me their best sales pitch. It's all going to be polish, rehearse. Oh, there's a new bhakta. Bhakta on line 3. And everybody's like going to just say what they're supposed to say. I wanted to go and hear and see the real thing. So I show up for Mangal Artik. Oh, crap. I shouldn't have done all that sloka chanting. So I show up for Mangal Artik. Here's the condensed version. Now, I'm from the West. I'm from the West. You remember that? America? America, God is at best an old white guy with a long beard in the clouds. That's at best. We get to that. We can, okay, he's there, God. Woo, we get that. Now all of a sudden, Srila Prabhupada's telling us Krishna is God. Okay, he's got a name. That's pretty cool. He's blue. He's blue. Okay, I mean, that's pretty cool too. Why not? He can be blue if he wants to be, right? He's a little boy, or he's on a chariot, because that's what I had, the Bhagavad Gita. I saw him on the chariot. He's blue. Now, coming from the West, to surrender to that is a big deal. All right, we have to say, okay, all right, everything I thought, out, get out. Krishna's blue. He's blue. He's blue. He looks, he's got the flute, the whole thing. Okay, okay. So I go to the temple. Krishna's blue, Krishna's blue, Krishna's blue. I get ready to see the deities because they told me you're going to see God. Whoa, I'm going to see God? Who says that to you? Hey, want to go see God? Yeah, okay. I mean, come on. I'm going to see God? How amazing is this? So I'm like, this is like amazing. I'm ready for this. I can do this. I want to see God. So they bring me in the temple room. I'm standing there, and everybody's just in this dark room going, it sounds like bumblebees. I've never heard chanting before. Nobody's talking. They're all just going, and I was just standing there going, whoa, okay, all right. It's dark. Everybody's just talking to themselves. All right, this is kind of different. Very, very different. Then all of a sudden, I hear a sound that breaks everybody's mumbling. Hoot, hoot, hoot. Fire drill? Air raid. What is it? What is that sound? I don't know. And now the curtains open. And I'm standing. Everybody else is on the ground. Like, what happened? What'd I miss? Why are we all on the ground? Somebody dropped something? I'm the only one standing. And in front of me, I'm looking. He's not blue. I was expecting blue. You know, he's not blue. He doesn't even look like the guy on the Bhagavad Gita. What's going on here? Whoa. Have some faith. Have some faith. Okay. They told you were going to see God. Okay. These are really weird looking people on this altar. One's black with these big eyes. The other one's white with big eyes. And the other one's yellow with big eyes. I wasn't ready for this. This is God? I mean, I can stretch my imagination to this blue guy with a flute, but really? Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra? Haribo! That's what you call faith. I was still standing there. I didn't run. I stood there. I said, I got faith. I got faith that this Srila Prabhupada is telling me the truth, and I'm going to follow him. I was like really good with this. I'm going to do this. I love this. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Ramchandra, I'm with all of them. I'm with all of them. So the faith must come. Just like all the Vrajbasis, they had faith in Krishna. They were quite okay with just standing under this mountain. No problem. One more faith. I was in the airport distributing books. Now, I'm a new bhakta. I'd only been a devotee a couple of months again, and I got to go to the airport to distribute books. All the senior devotees and me. It was quite fun. I really enjoyed it. But deep down inside, I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% sure. There's some doubt. A little bit of doubt. I mean, come on, this is like a major commitment. You know, everything is just so, you know, a little kid holding a mountain, they call him Krishna. Okay, I can go there, I can accept that. Certain things were just like so far out, you're just like, it's too far out to be made up. It's got to be real. But I had a little doubt. So I was distributing books in the airport. Now, usually we talk to people as they come off of the planes because they're kind of bewildered. You know, where am I? What am I doing? You know, what should I do? Hey! Oh, okay. Guess I'm supposed to stop to this guy. This time, it was so slow, I hit a guy heading towards his plane. Now, you can imagine the consciousness of a businessman. I got the 5:45, I got to be there in 10, I'm going to land, so got that meeting at 6, and da-da-da. That's where his head was at. You could see it. He's spinning all the stuff he had to do. It's like a business meeting. I'm about to go. I'm flying to Chicago. Then from there, I got to go. So I hit him up. And, of course, he didn't stop. He's coming. He's rushing. He didn't stop. Not only did he not stop, he took his briefcase with all his papers in it, and he whacked my arm with it. And the Bhagavad Gita went flying out of my arm. And he took a couple more steps walking like this, and he went, ah! And he was down on the ground, clutching his heart. I'm standing there going, whoa, what's going on here? The guy's having a heart attack. And he's clutching his heart. He's going, oh, oh, oh. Then all of a sudden he went, ah! Dang, dead. I'm watching, and I can see the Yamadutas showed up and just took this guy right out of his body. Wow, is that cool or what? I mean, that's how we are as devotees. We're kind of callous sometimes, but we're learning, right? I was like, it's real. It's really real. This guy saw the Yamadutas. I could see it in his face. That wasn't normal. You don't just go, ah, you died like that. He went like, ah! The Yamadutas came and got this guy. So Krishna was helping me out. He's saying, yes, you have faith. It's almost 100%. Let me help you out a little bit here. See, Yamadutas, don't mess around. Otherwise, you get it? I got it. Okay, I'm good. Okay. So, Krishna's holding up Govardhan Hill with his little pinky. And everybody is under the Govardhan Hill umbrella. Under the Govardhan Hill umbrella. But we say here, like a mushroom, like an umbrella. We can relate better to that. Like an umbrella. And all they're feeling for Krishna is love. They just love Krishna. 7 days, 7 nights. They're not eating. They're not sleeping. They're not drinking. They're just loving. Loving Krishna in their own way. Everyone has a different rasa with Krishna. And that's how they see him. They just love him. They love him. They want nothing else but loving Krishna. They don't need anything. That is the example that we're going to get from Govardhan Puja. We're supposed to just be loving. Loving Krishna with all our hearts. Not holding back. Not holding back anything. There's a lot of Prabhupada memories on YouTube. You can see, lots of them wonderful. There's one that really touches me. It's a devotee who produced a record, like a rock and roll record in the 70s called Change of Heart. Produced these wonderful songs about the movement, about Prabhupada. So special. So before it was actually put to record, he had recorded the songs. Now, one particular day in the studio in Los Angeles, Srila Prabhupada was there to record some bhajans. As he was walking out of the studio, he's finished, he's done in the studio for the day. He walks past Mangalananda. And Mangalananda says, Srila Prabhupada, I've recorded some songs if you'd like to hear them. And Prabhupada stopped and came right back to hear it. Now, when Mangalananda tells this story on video some 40 years later, he starts crying. The emotion, the love that he felt from Srila Prabhupada, he says, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. But Prabhupada stopped what he was doing to come back just to hear my songs. And of course, in the video, when he says this story, he's crying, and he says to the the producer, "You're going to cut the crying out, aren't you?" And the guy, "Oh, yeah, sure." Of course, it's on the video. We see him crying. But it's one of those moments that just touches you. How much he felt, how much love he felt from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada could have easily just, "That's nice, I'll hear some other time." But he stopped. He stopped wherever he was going to come back and hear this devotee's offering to Prabhupada and to the movement. And that's the kind of loving reciprocation that Prabhupada brought out of us. He brought out this love. Because we are trying to love Krishna. Use the word trying to love Krishna. Like if I say to you, and if you were being really honest, do you love Krishna? I mean really with all your heart. The most important aspect of everything is Krishna. Do you really, really feel that? Honestly, I don't. I don't. I really don't. I wish I did, but I don't. So what Srila Prabhupada is trying to teach us is how to love him, how to love his devotees, how to love his movement. We can get to that stage. Then we can progress to loving Krishna. But it's not so easy. We need to really feel the love. There's one story that one of the first Gaur Purnim festivals here in Sridham Mayapur, Srila Prabhupada was seated on the Vyasasana with all his glorious sannyasis sitting in front of him. And some of the sannyasis assembled were wonderful speakers, wonderful preachers. But one particular sannyasi that Srila Prabhupada had was not so wonderful. But he had one thing that topped the rest. He loved Srila Prabhupada with all his heart. And he had a massive heart. He was a massive person. His name was Brahmananda Swami. So when Prabhupada said, "I would like someone to give a class today instead of myself, Brahmananda, you give class." Now Brahmananda realized, I'm not the best class giver, but yet Prabhupada's asking me to do it. He's showing me reciprocation of love. Brahmananda sat down on the asana to speak. He couldn't. He started crying. He couldn't speak. All he could feel with these loving emotions was Srila Prabhupada. And it brought him to tears. He couldn't speak. He had to step down. He just couldn't stop. He was wailing. Prabhupada was showing him, I love you more than you love me. It's impossible. But Prabhupada showed that to everybody. I love you. I don't care who you are. You can be rank and file. We are rank and file devotees. We're not special. Nobody's special. Like that one devotee said, Prabhupada, I am the most fallen. Prabhupada says, you're not the most anything. You're insignificant. We're all insignificant. But we want to try as hard as we can to show our love for the devotees. Don't hold it back. When you see someone, you should be happy to see every single devotee. Not that, well, I like her, but I don't like him, but I like her, but I don't like him. I'll smile and say hello to him, but not her, but not him, but not her. We don't pick and choose. We are all connected together. We are part of this great ISKCON movement that Srila Prabhupada started. This is his life. This is his soul. And we want to stay connected to that. So show your love. Show your love to one another. Show your love to your spiritual master. Show your love to Srila Prabhupada. And especially here in Mayapur Dham, show your love to Mahaprabhu. So, in conclusion, on this Govard, I have one other story, but it's two minutes to go, and we have to go greet the deities. So in conclusion, I just want everybody to enjoy Govardhan Puja, because it's all about the feasting and the wonderful service that we can perform to Govardhan, who is Krishna himself. We can enjoy that service. We can enjoy it together. And we're in Sridham Mayapur. It doesn't get any better than this. Don't think there's anywhere else in the world you should want to be. This is it. We're in Sridham Mayapur. This is the spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada said, whether you live or die in Sridham Mayapur, you're in the spiritual world. So let's relish today, Govardhan Puja, very, very special day. And it seems like almost every other day is a special day when you're a Hare Krishna. What's today? Today we're having a feast for, think quick, what is it? No, we always have feasts. We're always celebrating because Krishna consciousness is a celebration. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So I think that's it. Everybody can go downstairs and greet the deities. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.